So one of the other things, that obviously is one of the big things in your book is around culture.
Yes.
And the fact that we have, say, one culture in an Australian or a US firm and a different kind of culture in, say, a Chinese firm.
Yes.
And if I'm hearing you right, sort of listening a little bit between the lines here, then it's not so much there's different cultures, but those lead to different ways of communicating.
Yeah.
And when we have the two sides talking to each other, it doesn't always really communicate across that cultural
Correct.
boundary. How on earth do people get through that one? We're not going to change the culture in one of our supply companies overnight, if ever.
You need somebody on your team who can communicate on your behalf.
Yeah.
And that means somebody, if you're dealing with the Chinese, somebody who can speak Chinese or understand it, somebody who can read. And it's not just a question of speaking it as in the words coming out your mouth. It's also a question of understanding the sort of hidden meaning of what's being said.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably been heard 100 times before that people walk into a meeting overseas, they walk out and say, yes, they said yes, and the other one said, oh, thank God we didn't agree to that. And the words were the same, they were just heard in different ways.
Yeah.
So you need somebody who understands these subtle differences to be able to read the right thing out of the meeting.
Out of a situation.
Yeah, out of the situation. Everybody everybody's talking about the need network, Guangxi in China, for example. And while it is important, it's not the make or break factor.
Okay.
You can do business without Guangxi. It makes it easier, of course, but you got to get started somewhere. You can't spend 10 years building Guangxi before you do any business, right? Then you're out of business in the meantime. There's factors that are important, but there's other factors that are, I'd say, important in a different way.
Yeah.
And cultural understanding is definitely a big one, and language understanding is a big one.
Yeah.